My name is Rachel. This is Sonnet 51, and this one is kind of the companion to the one that Stephen read in the last section. So we're continuing with the theme of we are riding on a horse, we are riding away from our love and eager to return. Thus can my love excuse the slow offense of my dull bearer when from thee I speed. From where thou art, why should I haste me thence? Till I return, of posting is no need. Oh, what excuse will my poor beast then find when swift extremity can seem but slow? Then should I spur, though mounted on the wind, in winged speed no motion shall I know. Then can no horse with my desire keep pace. Therefore desire, of perfectest love being made, shall neigh no dull flesh in his fiery race. But love, for love, thus shall excuse my jade. Since from thee going he went willful slow, towards thee I'll run, and give him leave to go. Thank you. Oh my gosh, jeez.
Thank you. I'm Jon. This is Sonnet 52. So am I, as the rich whose blessed key can bring him to his sweet uplocked treasure, the which he will not every hour survey, for blunting the fine point of seldom pleasure. Therefore are feasts so seldom and so rare, since seldom coming in that long year set, like stones of worth, they thinly placed are, or captain jewels in the carcanet. So is the time that keeps you as my chest, or as the wardrobe which the robe doth hide, to make some special instant special blessed, by new unfolding his imprisoned pride. Blessed are you whose worthiness gives scope, being had to triumph, being lacked to hope.
Hi, I'm Mary Rowland. Now, when you hear this particular sonnet, you should think of that song, and I'm not a singer. Nothing compares to you. Okay? Just say. All right. What is your substance? Whereof were you made that millions of strange shadows on you tend, since everyone hath everyone one shade, and you but one can every shadow lend. Describe Adonis, and the counterfeit is poorly imitated after you. On Helen's cheek all art of beauty set, and you in Grecian tires are painted new. Speak of the spring and foison of the year. The one doth shadow of your beauty show, and the other as your bounty doth appear. And you in every blessed shape we know. In external grace you have some part, but you, like none you, for constant heart.
Hi, I'm Mark Cornell. I've never read Shakespeare before, but I am a playwright, so I took the time to do little edits to his work. I thought it needed a little, 400 years, maybe an extra set of eyes on it might help it out. I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. Oh, how much more doth beauty esteem by that sweet ornament which truth doth give. The rose looks fair, but fairer we it deem for that sweet odor which doth live in it. The canker blooms have full as deep a dye as the perfumed tincture of the roses, hang on such thorns, and play as wantonly when summer's breath their masked buds discloses. But their virtue only is their show. They live unwooed, and unrespected fade, die to themselves. Sweet roses do not so. Of their sweet deaths are sweetest odors made. And so of you, beauteous and lovely youth, when that shall fade, by verse distills your truth.
Hello, I'm the tallest person here, always. I'm Jon Kessel, and I'm not going to be in any kind of play at all coming up, but I am a writer. And that's why I picked Sonnet 55, which is about how writing lasts longer than everything. And he's flattering his beloved by saying, okay, I'll put you in my poem, and see, you won't ever get lost. So, Sonnet 55. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars' sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. 'Gainst death and all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth. Your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So, till the judgment that yourself arise, you live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Sorry, I'm not that tall.
That's okay.
Hi, I'm Jess Klein. I'm not involved in anything right now, thankfully. Normally I'm a lighting designer and a set builder. So a little different, but that's okay. And I'm reading Sonnet 56. Sweet love, renew thy force. Be it not said, thy edge should blunter be than appetite, which but today by feeding is allayed. Tomorrow, sharpened in his former might. So love be thou, although today thou fill thy hungry eyes, even till they wink with fullness. Tomorrow see again, and do not kill the spirit of love with a perpetual dullness. Let this sad interim like the ocean be, which parts the shore, where two contracted new come daily to the banks, that when they see return of love, more blessed may be the view. Or call it winter, which being full of care, makes summer welcome, thrice more wished, more rare.
Okay. Hi, my name is Owen, and I'll be reading Sonnet 57. Being your slave, what should I do but tend upon the hours and times of your desire? I have no precious time at all to spend, nor services to do till you require. Nor dare I chide the world without end hour, whilst I, my sovereign, watch the clock for you, nor think the bitterness of absence sour, when you have bid your servant once adieu. Nor dare I question with my jealous thought where you may be or your affairs suppose, but, like a sad slave, stay and think of naught save where you are, how happy you make those. So true a fool is love that, in your will, though you do anything he thinks no ill. And as it says in my sonnet, I bid you all adieu.
All right, my name is Beck, and I'll be performing Sonnet 58. That God forbid, that made me first your slave, I should in thought control your times of pleasure, or, at your hand, the account of hours to crave, being your vassal, bound to stay your leisure. Oh, let me suffer, being at your beck, the imprisoned absence of your liberty, and patience, tame to sufferance, bide each check, without accusing you of injury. Be where you list, your charter is so strong, that you yourself may privilege your time to what you will. To you it doth belong, yourself to pardon of self-doing crime. I am to wait, though waiting so be hell. Not blame your pleasure, be it ill or well.
Hi, I'm Anne Forsthoefel, and I was given Sonnet 59 to read. Briefly, in my studying, in preparation for the roles that I play, I was interested in what my characters would sound like and read a little bit about early modern English and discovered original pronunciation, which I'm kind of besotted with at this point. It's what the scholars believe Londoners, people of Shakespeare's time, sounded like. So this is my attempt at OP, or original pronunciation. If there be nothing new, but that which is, hath been before, how are our brains beguiled, which, labouring for invention, bear amiss the second burthen of a former child. Oh, that record could, with a backward look, e'en of 500 courses of the sun, show me your image in some antique book, since mind at first in character was done, that I might say what the old world could say to this composed wonder of your frame, whether we are mended, or where better they, or whether revolution be the same. Oh, sure, I am the wits of farmer days, to subjects worse, have given admiring praise.
Hi, my name is Tim Rand, and I'm going to do Sonnet 60. And this sonnet is kind of about, he's written to the beloved, and it's just talking about time and how time works in your favor as you're growing up, and then you hit the peak, which the beloved is at now, and then there's nothing you can do about time after that. But like Sonnet 55, he shows how he can freeze the beauty in this sonnet. So this is Sonnet 60. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end, each changing place with that which goes before. In sequent toil all forwards do contend. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith, being crowned, crooked clipses against his glory fight, and time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and delves the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. And yet, to times in hope, my verse shall stand, praising thy worth, despite his cruel hand.
Hey y'all, I'm Tehran. Yeah, here is my rendition of Sonnet 61. Is it thy will thy image should keep open, my heavy eyelids to weary night? Doth thou desire my slumbers should be broken, while shadows like to thee do mock my sight? Is it my spirit that thou sendest from thee, so far from home, into my deeds to pry? To find out shames and idle hours in me, the scope and tenure of thy jealousy. Oh no, thy love, though much, it's not so great. It is my love to keep mine eye awake, mine own true love that doth my rest defeat, to play the watchman ever for thy sake. For thee watch I, while thou dost wake elsewhere, from me far off, with others all too near.
Hi, my name is Kelli. I'm reading Sonnet 62, and in this sonnet, the poet accuses himself of supreme vanity, in that he thinks so highly of himself. He then admits that the self he holds in such esteem is not his physical self, but his other self, the beloved. Sin of self-love possesseth all mine eye, and all my soul, and all my every part. And for this sin, there is no remedy. It is so grounded inward in my heart. Methinks no face so gracious is as mine, no shape so true, no truth of such account, and for myself my own worth do define, as I all other in all worse surmount. But when my glass shows me myself indeed, beaded and chopped with tanned antiquity, mine own self-love, quite contrary, I read. Self so self-loving were iniquity. 'Tis thee, myself, that for myself I praise, painting my age with beauty of thy days.
Hi, I'm Carole, and I will be reading Sonnet 63. In this work, the sonneteer is considering his love and how that man might change over time from the beautiful man that he is now and what he might become. Against my love shall be, as I am now, with time's injurious hand crushed and o'erworn, when hours have drained his blood and filled his brow with lines and wrinkles, when his youthful morn hath traveled on to age's steepy night, and all those beauties whereof now he's king are vanishing, or vanished out of sight, stealing away the treasure of his spring. For such a time do I now fortify against confounding age's cruel knife, that he shall never cut from memory my sweet love's beauty, though my lover's life. His beauty shall in these black lines be seen, and they shall live, and he in them still green.
Hi, my name is Dawn Preston. Nothing to plug, just here for the joy of it. I'm reading Sonnet 64, and in this sonnet, the poet begins to further contemplate loss and change and decay. When I have seen by time's fell hand defaced the rich, proud cost of outworn, buried age, when sometime lofty towers I see down raised, and brass eternal, slave to mortal rage, when I have seen the hungry ocean gain advantage on the kingdom of the shore, and the firm soil win of the watery main, increasing store with loss, and loss with store. When I have seen such interchange of state, or state itself confounded to decay, ruin hath taught me thus to ruminate, that time will come and take my love away. This thought is as a death which cannot choose, but weak to have that which it fears to lose.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laura, and I will be reading sonnet number 65. On theme, this copy of the complete works of William Shakespeare was printed in Great Britain before I was born. And provided I am not careless with it, it should provide joy to many other readers long after it is no longer in my possession. Since brass, nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea whose action is no stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wrackful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong, but time decays. O fearful meditation, where, alack, shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid, or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back, or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? O none, unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright.
Hello, my name is Gerald. I thought about using her book, but I would have to use a microscope to see it. So I'll have to use this. I am reading Sonnet 66. I have nothing to push because the play I was getting ready to do got postponed indefinitely. So right now, I'm going to be just auditioning, so if you know anybody that needs an old dude, I'm here. Okay, so 66. I'll be trying a different voice. We'll see how it works out. Tired with all these, for restful death I cry, as to behold desert a beggar born, and needy nothing trimmed in jollity. The purest faith unhappily forsworn, and gilded honor shamefully misplaced, and maiden virtue rudely strumpeted, and right perfection wrongfully disgraced, and strength by limping sway disabled, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly, doctor-like, controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending captain ill. Tired with all these, from these I would be gone, save that to die I leave my love alone.
So first I want to say, happy birthday, William. Thank you for doing this for William Shakespeare for his birthday and his month. And it's an honor to be part of the sister sonnets, 67 and 68, where my sister Rhea will be reading 68. I'll be reading 67. Thank you, Kurt, for randomly selecting sonnets that are sisters, much like we are. So I'll be reading sonnet 67. Ah, wherefore with infection should he live, and with his presence, grace, and piety, that sin by him advantage should achieve, and lace itself with his society? Why should false painting imitate his cheek, and steal dead seeing of his living hue? Why should poor beauty indirectly seek roses of shadow, since his rose is true? Why should he live now, nature bankrupt is, beggared of blood to blush through lively veins? For she hath no exchequer now but his, and proud of many lives upon his gains. Oh, him she stores to show what wealth she had in days long since, these last so bad. And I just wanted to mention that these sonnets together both show being deeply dissatisfied with society and its moral and aesthetic decline, and to emphasize the natural versus unnatural beauty. So, thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rhea. So, continuing that idea that Sonnet 67 presents and read by my friend Debbie, Sonnet 68 shows how this same person represents the kind of beauty that seems to be almost lost in the world today, the beauty that is pure, real, untouched, and honest. So I'll be reading Sonnet 68. Thus is his cheek the map of days outworn, when beauty lived and died as flowers do now. Before these bastard signs of fair were born, of dust in habit on a living brow, before the golden tresses of the dead, the rite of sepulchres were shown away, to live a second life on second head, ere beauty's dead peace made another gay. In him, those holy antique hours are seen without all ornament itself and true, making no summer of another's green, robbing no old to dress his beauty new. And him, so for a map doth nature store, to show false art what beauty was of yore. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. Me too.
Not as bad. Hi, I'm Carole, and I'm going to be reading, excuse me, the pollen is just, Sonnet 69, which I think is extremely interesting because it talks about the fact that beauty is not just outside, that when you're considering somebody's looks and their beauty, you also have to look at their deeds and their words, and in a sense, consider the whole thing together. So what might be so beautiful might actually be kind of nasty. This is 69. Those parts of thee that the world's eye doth view, want nothing that the thought of hearts can mend. All tongues, the voice of souls, give thee that due, uttering bare truth, even so as foes commend. Thy outward thus with outward praise is crowned, but those same tongues that give thee so thine own in other accents do this praise confound, by seeing farther than the eye hath shown. They look into the beauty of thy mind, and that in guess they measure by thy deeds, then churls their thoughts, although their eyes were kind. To thy fair flower add the rank smell of weeds. But why the odor matcheth not the show? The soil is this, that thou dost common grow. Thank you.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. My name is Luke. I'll be giving you Sonnet 70. I'm not extremely familiar with Shakespeare's sonnets, so I wanted to do a lot of reading about some of the sonnets to try and get a little more familiar. And what I discovered, especially thanks to the reading of Sonnet 69, is that this one continues on the idea of beauty not being solely based on what's on the outside, that the beauty of youthfulness can endure long after any outward signs of beauty might have faded. That thou art blamed shall not be thy defect, for slander's mark was ever yet the fair. The ornament of beauty is suspect, a crow that flies in heaven's sweetest air. So thou be good, slander doth but approve thy worth, the greater being wooed of time. For canker vice the sweetest buds doth love, and thou presentest a pure, unstained prime. Thou hast passed by the ambush of young days, either not assailed or victor being charged. Yet this thy praise cannot be so thy praise. To tie up envy, evermore enlarged, if some suspect of ill masked not thy show, then thou alone, kingdoms of hearts, shouldst owe.
Hello, my name is Mary Lynn Bain. I went to college right down the road at William Peace University. Yay, Peace! After graduating, I was lucky enough to be an education intern with Shakespeare and Company, and I got to do a lot of workshops, and I learned a lot. But the thing that's coming to my mind right now is a way of sitting while you're listening to Shakespeare, or anything really. And I would like to invite you to do what I'm about to say. You don't have to at all, but take a moment to notice how your body is in a chair. A lot of us like tense up and things are weird and we're guarded and we're crossed and everything. So if you feel comfortable putting both feet on the ground, if you feel comfortable rolling your shoulders back for a sec, taking a deep breath in and out. If you feel comfortable opening your palms up, and if you want to put your gaze slightly down, that's fine. But this is Sonnet 71, and it's about asking the person who you love, romantically, family, whatever, the person who you are leaving behind when you pass, they're asking to not mourn. They're asking that you not mourn your passing. So take a deep breath in one more time. And I'm going to just read it. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear the surly, sullen bell. Give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that writ it, for I love you so, that I in your sweet thoughts would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if I say you look upon this verse, when I perhaps compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love with my love decay. Lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I am gone. Thank you.
Good afternoon. In picking up on 71, whereas the poet decided that he was going to allow his or her or their lover to not mourn for them, but to also not praise them after their death. And so 72 says, I am reading 72. Oh, lest the world should task you to recite what merit lived in me, that you should love after my death, dear love, forget me quite. For you in me can nothing worthy prove, unless you would devise some virtuous lie to do more for me than mine own desert, and hang more praise upon deceased I than niggard truth would willingly impart. Oh, lest your true love may seem false in this, that you for love speak well of me untrue, my name be buried where my body is, and live no more to shame nor me nor you. For I am shamed by that which I bring forth, and so should you, to love things nothing worth.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and that's not going to work. Sonnet 73, I've always loved it. It's my favorite one to teach. My shameless plug is for public education, by the way. And I love to teach it because it so clearly shows the structure of Shakespearean sonnets. And as you listen, pay attention to how the speaker gives us, and I have my students draw pictures, actually, next to each quatrain, the progression of the images that we see as the speaker discusses or contemplates his impending death and what that means to his beloved. So, Sonnet 73. That time of year thou mayest in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare, ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie as the deathbed whereon he must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well, which thou must leave ere long.
I'm Usset Sharma. Shameless plug for the blinds. They want rolling up after we're gone. Shameless plug for the ants on the ledge on the other side. Shameless plug for the soil. They want to rain this spring. This is Sonnet 74, and it's a memento mori sonnet, so remember you must die. It's thematically linked with sonnet number 63. It asks us to contemplate something very interesting. So after you pass on, how is your soul encompassed to your beloved, for your beloved? Is it like an image, photograph? No photographs in Elizabethan England, but portraits. Is it in an object, something you shared together? Or is it in something else? And for Shakespeare, of course, it's in the words. But be contented when that fell arrest without all bail shall carry me away. My life in this line has some interest, which for memorial still with thee shall stay. When thou reviewest this, thou dost review the very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then thou hast lost but the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of a wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that is this, and this with thee remains. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lydia. I'm going to be reading Sonnet 75. We're finally off the topic of death. Back to love. In this poem, Shakespeare compares his relationship with his beloved to a miser's relationship to his pile of gold or whatever. So are you to my thoughts as food to life, or as sweet seasoned showers are to the ground. And for the peace of you I hold such strife as twixt a miser and his wealth is found. Now proud as an enjoyer, and anon doubting the filching age will steal his treasure. Now counting best to be with you alone, then better that the world may see my pleasure. Sometime all full with feasting on your sight, and by clean starved for a look, possessing or pursuing no delight, save what is had or must be from you took. Thus do I pine and surfeit day by day, or gluttony on all, or all away.
Hello, I'm Sharon Eisner. I'm a musical improviser,
with nothing coming up, but if you're a musical improviser too, please come over. We'll sing together. Okay. So Sonnet 76 is a bit meta, and you've been here for an hour or two or three. Has anyone thought, some of these are a bit redundant? Raise your hand if you've thought that. Okay. So did Shakespeare, and I'd like to just paraphrase his answer to the question, why are these redundant? Not my problem. I'm not here to experiment with new poetic devices. I'm here to find new ways to express my eternal, unchanging love. Okay. So the actual words of Shakespeare, Sonnet 76. Why is my verse so barren of new pride, so far from variation or quick change? Why with the time do I not glance aside to newfound methods and to compounds strange? Why write I still, all one, ever the same, and keep invention in a noted weed, that every word doth almost tell my name, showing their birth and where they did proceed? Oh, no, sweet love, I always write of you, and you and love are still my argument. So all my best is dressing old words new, spending again what is already spent. For as the sun is daily new and old, so is my love still telling what is told.
Good afternoon. I'll try to be as brief because I know that we're all ready to go and pulling up the caboose. My name is Joy, and I will be reading Sonnet 77. And Sonnet 77 uses devices or objects to correlate or parallel, I guess, the dynamics of life as it is always fleeting as we age. And those three objects are a mirror. When you look in the mirror, you can see the changes, your physical changes, and how life is fleeting as we age. The timepiece, which shows how time moves. And then a notebook, which is a reflection of how we should write our life, our journey in life, so that as our memories start to fade, the book, the journey of your life written in the book, keeps it alive and memorable. So I will read Sonnet 77 in 3 quadrants. Thy glass will show thee how thy beauties wear, thy dial how thy precious minutes waste. These vacant leaves thy mind's imprint will bear, and of this book this learning mayst thou taste. The wrinkles which thy glass will truly show of mouths' graves will give thee memory. Thou by thy dial's shady step mayest know time's thievish progress to eternity. Look, what thy memory cannot contain, commit to these waste blanks, and thou shalt find those children nursed, delivered from thy brain, to take a new acquaintance of thy mind. These offices, so oft as thou wilt look, shall profit thee and much enrich thy book.